Welcome to Royal Secret. In a stunning revelation that has left royal watchers captivated across the globe, Prince Joachim of Denmark has taken a bold step into the spotlight. Not as a diplomat, not as a military officer, and not just as a royal figure, but as a man, a father, a former husband, and a voice of emotional authenticity. In his newly released documentary, Prince Joachim offers viewers an extraordinary and intimate look into the intricate layers of his private life. For the first time, the Danish royal lifts the velvet curtain behind his journey through love, heartbreak, family duty, and personal transformation. What emerges is not just the chronicle of a royal life but a story of deeply human experience, woven with vulnerability, regrets, revelations, and resilience. Prince Joachim, the youngest son of Queen Margrethe II and the late Prince Henrik, has long lived in the shadow of his elder brother, King Frederik X. While the spotlight often lingered on Crown Prince Frederik and his glamorous wife, Queen Mary, Joachim quietly carved his own path. First as a cavalry officer, then as Denmark's defense attaché in Paris, and always as a man trying to define his own identity within the ancient and unyielding structures of royalty. But in this documentary, the prince removes the armor. With a gaze that hints at both regret and peace, he begins to tell his story, not with royal polish, but with emotional candor. From his early years as the spare in the royal family to the seismic events of his personal life, Joachim's voice resonates with a sincerity that is both surprising and refreshing. The documentary takes us back to the fairy tale moment that once captured the hearts of the Danish people, Joachim's marriage to Alexandra Manley, a Hong Kong-born marketing executive who became Denmark's first royal of Asian descent. Their 1995 wedding was a modern fairy tale. The couple's chemistry was palpable, and the nation celebrated a new chapter of multicultural monarchy. But behind the smiles and tiaras was a quiet struggle. Joachim speaks with poignant honesty about the challenges of balancing royal duty with personal connection. The pressures of public life and the strain of expectations began to wear down what was once a vibrant marriage. "We tried," he says quietly in the documentary. "We really did." That sentence echoes with the weight of everything unsaid. The documentary does not shy away from the breakdown of the marriage, nor does Joachim cast blame. Instead, he reflects on the passage of time, the changes in both their hearts, and the reality that sometimes, even royal love is not immune to heartbreak. From his marriage to Alexandra, Joachim had two sons, Prince Nikolai and Prince Felix. The documentary reveals the emotional complexities of fatherhood post-divorce. Viewers will see archival footage and tender images, Joachim walking with his boys in the gardens of Schackenburg Castle, brushing the hair of a young Felix, cheering at Nikolai's runway debut as a fashion model. "I was afraid they would grow up thinking I wasn't there," he admits with a trembling voice. It's in these moments that the prince is no longer a figurehead or diplomat. He is simply a father, haunted by the limits of visitation schedules and the aching silence of an empty castle. But the film also shows the strength of those relationships today. Despite royal protocol and physical distance, Joachim has remained a constant presence in the lives of Nikolai and Felix. Viewers will be touched by the messages of mutual respect, love, and pride that father and sons exchange. These scenes stand as a powerful reminder that royal or not, family bonds require work, humility, and time. Joachim's second act in love began in 2007 when he met Marie Cavalier, a French-born communications professional. Their wedding in 2008 marked a new chapter, one filled with renewal, optimism, and shared purpose. "She came into my life when I was learning how to trust again," Joachim says in one of the most touching segments of the documentary. Together, they have two children, Count Henrik and Countess Athena. The documentary gives us a candid view of their blended family, showcasing scenes of dinners filled with laughter, beach holidays in southern France, and quiet evenings in the family home. Marie is portrayed not just as a princess but as a pillar of strength. She speaks in the documentary too, often gently guiding the narrative and defending Joachim against harsh media portrayals. Her French charm and emotional intelligence shine through as she discusses the challenges of becoming part of the Danish royal family, and building a life across borders and cultures. The documentary also touches on one of the most painful and public moments in recent Danish royal history, the removal of royal titles from Joachim's children. In 2022, Queen Margrethe II announced that from January 2023, Joachim's 4 children would no longer bear the titles of prince or princess, instead becoming counts and countess of Montpezat. The decision, while meant to simplify the monarchy, sent shockwaves through the family. It was like being told you don't belong anymore, Joachim reveals, his face marked by confusion and hurt. In the documentary, he does not attack his mother but questions the process. Why was the decision made so suddenly? Why weren't the children given time to adjust? These questions hang heavy in the air, as viewers witness the toll it took on Joachim and Marie. Marie, at one point visibly emotional, says, "They are still children. You don't take away a child's identity overnight." What emerges is a painful portrait of a family trying to redefine itself in an age of transparency and modern monarchy. The title removal was more than symbolic, it was a moment that tested the core of trust within the royal institution. Since 2019, Prince Joachim has lived with his family in Paris, where he served as Denmark's defense attaché. The documentary captures their life in the City of Light, a stark contrast to the formality of Danish palaces. In Paris, Joachim walks to the market unnoticed, attends cultural events, and enjoys a kind of semi-normality unknown in Copenhagen. It is here that he finds something close to peace. "I've learned to be still, to breathe," he says. Through scenes of morning coffee with Marie, helping Henrik with homework, and listening to jazz in a Montmartre café, we see a royal man learning to just be a man. The pressures of lineage do not disappear, but they loosen their grip. Toward the end of the documentary, Joachim reflects on what he wishes to leave behind, not in terms of legacy, but memory. "I want my children to remember me as someone who tried, who showed up, who loved them, even when the world was watching." This raw sentiment captures the spirit of the documentary. It's not about perfection, it's about presence. It's about owning your story, even when that story is messy, controversial, or painful. In a world where royal image is often controlled down to the last syllable, Prince Joachim's decision to be honest, painfully, vulnerably honest, is revolutionary. The documentary ends with quiet images, Joachim walking alone through a field near his childhood home. No soundtrack, just wind and footsteps. It is a moment of reckoning. And of grace. This is the Prince Joachim that viewers will remember, not just the brother of a king, or the son of a queen, but a man who dared to feel, to speak, and to grow. As credits roll, you'll find yourself asking, can a man ever truly find himself when the crown he wears was never meant to be his? Now that you've seen his truth, what do you think? Was Prince Joachim treated fairly by the monarchy, or is this the price of a royal life in a modern age? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more powerful royal documentaries and deep dives into the hidden world behind palace walls.